Welcome back to English Buddy Podcast. I'm Sam.
And I'm Sophia.
Today, we're going on a journey. Well, at least we're learning how to book one. We're talking about booking flights in English.
That's right. And this is super practical because whether you're traveling for vacation, work, or visiting family, you'll need to book a flight at some point.
Exactly. So by the end of today's episode, you'll be able to confidently book a flight over the phone or online, ask the right questions, and understand what airline staff are saying to you.
We'll cover key vocabulary, practice with a real conversation, and then you'll get to try it yourself with a challenge task.
Before we dive in, if you're finding this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us create more useful content for you.
All right, let's get started.
Okay, Sophia, let's build our language toolkit. What are the essential words and phrases someone needs when booking a flight?
Great question. Let's start with the basics. First, you need to know how to say what kind of ticket you want. There are two main types, a one-way ticket and a round-trip ticket.
Right. A one-way ticket means you're only flying in one direction, let's say from New York to London. A round-trip ticket means you're flying there and back.
Perfect. Now, when you're talking to an airline agent, you'll need to say your destination. That's where you want to go, and your departure date, which is when you want to leave.
And don't forget your return date. If you're booking a round trip, that's when you're coming back.
Exactly. Now let's talk about some key phrases. When you start the conversation, you can say, I'd like to book a flight to, and then name your destination.
For example, I'd like to book a flight to Paris.
Good. Now, the agent will probably ask you, when would you like to travel? Or what are your travel dates?
And you can answer, I'd like to depart on June 15th and return on June 22nd.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, here's an important one. Direct flight versus a connecting flight. A direct flight goes straight to your destination with no stops. A connecting flight has at least one stop where you change planes.
Direct flights are faster but often more expensive. Connecting flights can be cheaper but take longer. So the agent might ask, would you prefer a direct flight or are you okay with a connecting flight?
Right. And you might want to ask about the price. You could say, how much does it cost? Or what's the fare?
The word fare means the price of your ticket. Another useful question is, are there any cheaper options? Or do you have any available seats in economy class?
Speaking of that, let's talk about class. There's economy class, which is the standard, cheapest option. Then there's business class, which is more comfortable and expensive. And first class, which is the most luxurious.
Most travelers book economy class.
Yeah.
Now, the agent will also need to know how many passengers are traveling. A passenger is a person who's flying.
Right. So if you're traveling alone, you say just one passenger or only me. If you're traveling with others, two passengers or there are three of us.
Right. Now, let's talk about some other important vocabulary. When you book your flight, you'll need to give your full name exactly as it appears on your passport or ID.
Yes, this is super important. If your name on the ticket doesn't match your ID, you might not be able to board the plane.
Another thing you might hear is baggage allowance. That's how much luggage you're allowed to bring. The agent might say, you're allowed one carry-on bag and one checked bag.
A carry-on is a small bag you take on the plane with you. A checked bag is a larger suitcase that goes in the cargo area under the plane.
And finally, let's cover some confirmation phrases. At the end of the call, the agent will give you a confirmation number or booking reference. This is very important. Write it down.
They might say, your confirmation number is ABC123.
Right.
Or I've sent a confirmation email to your address.
And you can ask, could you repeat that, please, if you didn't catch it the first time?
Perfect. So let's quickly review the key vocabulary. One-way ticket versus a round-trip ticket, departure date, return date, direct flight versus connecting flight, economy, business, first class, fare, which is price, passenger, baggage allowance, and confirmation number.
Got all that. Great. Now let's hear how this sounds in a real conversation.
Okay, Sam, let's act out a sample dialogue. You'll be the airline agent, and I'll be the customer booking a flight.
Sounds good. Here we go. Good morning. Thank you for calling Sky Airlines. How may I help you today?
Hi, I'd like to book a round-trip flight to Tokyo, please.
Certainly. When would you like to travel?
I'd like to depart on July 10th and return on July 20th.
Okay, let me check our available flights. How many passengers will be traveling?
Just one passenger, just me.
Great. And would you prefer a direct flight, or are you okay with a connecting flight? We have a direct flight that costs $850 and a connecting flight through Seoul for $620.
What's the difference in travel time?
The direct flight is about 13 hours. The connecting flight is about 18 hours total with a 3-hour layover in Seoul.
I think I'll take the direct flight. I don't want to wait too long.
Perfect choice. And would you like to fly economy or business class?
Economy class, please.
All right. Can I have your full name as it appears on your passport?
Yes, it's Sophia Martinez.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. And could I have your email address and phone number?
Sure. It's sophia.martinez@gmail.com, and my phone number is 555-0123.
Excellent. Your total fare is $850. How would you like to pay today?
I'll pay with a credit card.
Perfect. I've completed your booking. Your confirmation number is SJ7894K. I've also sent a confirmation email to your address with your flight details.
Great. Just one more question. What's the baggage allowance?
You're allowed one carry-on bag and one checked bag up to 23 kilograms. Additional bags will cost $75 each.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a great trip to Tokyo.
And scene. So that's how a typical flight booking conversation goes.
Notice how the agent asked clear questions and I gave specific information, dates, number of passengers, my name exactly as it's on my passport.
And I asked questions too about the flight options, travel time, and baggage allowance. Don't be afraid to ask questions if you're not sure about something.
Absolutely. Now it's your turn to practice. All right, listeners, this is where you get to practice. We're going to give you a role-play scenario, and you can practice either by yourself or with a friend.
Here's your challenge. You want to book a flight from London to Barcelona for a vacation. You want to leave on August 5th and come back on August 12th. You're traveling with one other person, maybe a friend or family member.
Your task is to call the airline and book your flights. Remember to greet the agent and say what you want. Give your travel dates, say how many passengers. Ask about flight options, direct or connecting. Ask about prices. Choose economy or business class. Give your personal information. Ask about baggage allowance. Get your confirmation number.
Let's break this down into steps. First, how would you start the conversation? Take a moment and think about your opening sentence.
Remember, you can say something like, I'd like to book a flight to Barcelona, or I need to book 2 tickets to Barcelona, please.
Good. Now, the agent will ask about your dates. How would you say, I want to leave on August 5th and return on August 12th?
Practice saying, I'd like to depart on August 5th and return on August 12th. Or, I want to fly out on the 5th of August and come back on the 12th.
Excellent. Now, let's say the agent offers you two options: a direct flight for 180 pounds per person, or a connecting flight through Paris for 120 pounds per person. What questions would you ask?
You might want to know, how long is the direct flight? Or how long is the layover in Paris?
Exactly. These are smart questions. Maybe the direct flight is only 2 hours, but the connecting flight is 6 hours total. That information helps you decide.
Now, let's say you choose the direct flight. The agent will ask for your full name and the name of the person traveling with you. Practice saying both names clearly.
And remember, the name must match your passport exactly. If your passport says William, but everyone calls you Bill, you must book the ticket as William.
Great point. Now, the agent will tell you the total cost. For two people on a direct flight at 180 pounds each, that's 360 pounds. They might say, your total fare is 360 pounds.
And you can confirm, okay, I'll pay by credit card, or I'll pay with a debit card.
After payment, they'll give you a confirmation number. This is super important. Practice asking, could you repeat the confirmation number, please? Or can you spell that for me?
And finally, don't forget about bags. Try saying, what's the baggage allowance? Or how many bags can I bring?
Okay, let's do a quick mini role play together. Sophia, you'll be the agent and I'll be the customer. Listeners, follow along and imagine you're the customer too.
Good afternoon, Euroflight Airlines. How can I assist you?
Hi, I'd like to book 2 round-trip tickets to Barcelona, please.
Certainly. What are your travel dates?
We'd like to depart on August 5th and return on August 12th.
Perfect. We have a direct flight for 180 pounds per person, or a connecting flight through Paris for 120 pounds per person. Which would you prefer?
How long is the connecting flight?
The connecting flight has a 2-hour layover in Paris, and the total journey time is about 5 hours.
Okay, I think we'll take the direct flight.
Excellent. Can I have the full names of both passengers?
Yes, it's Sam Wilson and Emma Wilson.
Thank you. Your total is 360 pounds. Your confirmation number is EF2847B.
Could you repeat that, please?
Of course. It's Echo Foxtrot 2 847 Bravo.
Great, thank you. One last question. What's the baggage allowance?
Each passenger can bring 1 carry-on and 1 check bag up to 20 kilograms.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
See how that worked? Now it's your turn. Pause the podcast here and practice the full conversation out loud. Don't worry about making mistakes. That's how you learn.
Practice at least twice. The first time might feel awkward, but the second time will feel much more natural.
Excellent work, everyone. Let's wrap up with some key takeaways and reflection.
First, let's review what we learned today. We covered essential vocabulary like round trip, one way, departure day, return day, direct flight, connecting flight, and baggage allowance.
We also practiced key phrases like, I'd like to book a flight to, and when would you like to travel?
And we learned how important it is to give accurate information, especially your full name exactly as it appears on your passport, and to write down your confirmation number.
Now, here's a question for you to think about. What was the hardest part of this lesson? Was it remembering the vocabulary, understanding the agent's questions, Or maybe pronouncing the words clearly.
Take a moment to reflect on that. Understanding what's challenging helps you focus your practice.
Here are some tips for continued practice. Listen to this episode again and repeat the phrases out loud. Write down the key vocabulary and create your own example sentences. Practice the role play with a study partner or language exchange friend.
You can also practice in real life. Next time you're searching for flights online, read the information in English instead of your native language. This helps you get comfortable with the vocabulary.
And remember, making mistakes is completely normal and expected. Even if you forget a word or have to ask someone to repeat something, that's okay. The important thing is to keep practicing.
Exactly. Communication is about understanding and being understood, not about being perfect.
Before we go, let's leave you with one final challenge. This week, try searching for a real flight online, even if you're not actually traveling. Look at the options, read the details in English, and pretend you're booking a flight. This will help reinforce everything you learned today.
Great idea. And if you found this episode helpful, please subscribe to our channel and leave us a comment. Let us know which travel topic you'd like us to cover next. Maybe hotel check-in, ordering food at a restaurant, or asking for directions.
We love hearing from you. Thanks so much for learning with us today.
Keep practicing, stay confident, and happy travels.
See you next time on English Buddy Podcast.